On September 3rd, I will be halfway through my first house perfection year. That's right, this year I started a new 12-year cycle, so I thought to check in and talk about it. Get in, losers. We're talking perfection years. We're talking about 6th house energy. We're talking about getting your shit together and maybe getting free. Let's talk about it. Oh, hey, cosmic cuties. It is your friendo, the lady Ms. Vagina Jenkins, Black queer autistic artist and astrologer. And yes, I'm halfway through my first house perfection year. And if you don't know what that means, let me break it down, my friend. Okay, so what had happened was when you were born, no, there are 12 houses in any given tropical astrology chart, right? Right. And the profection year theory is a traditional Hellenistic astrology technique because it depends on using the whole sign astrology house system, where that natal chart circle is evenly divided into 12 even 30-degree segments. Yeah. But yeah, in the perfection year system, each year of one's life on their birthday is devoted to one particular house of their natal chart and those sorts of themes. I'll try to insert a little table here. But yeah, when you are first born, quite literally on your first birthday, you are in a first house year that has to deal with first house themes like yourself and your image and what you present yourself to be in the world. And then on your first birthday, you move to the next house, which happens to be the second house. And then because astrology cycles in this constantly evolving spiral, we get to experience each one of those houses in a constantly evolving cycle. So, for example, we all know about the 27 Club, where all of these rock stars died at the age of 27, many of them due to addiction or drug misuse. And the 27 year happens to be a 4th house perfection year, where we deal with issues around home and family, both the family that we come from, but also like our lineage, and also things to do with who we are foundationally, period. Because the 4th house is the bottom of the chart, the foundation of the chart. And so if you are looking at your foundations and thinking about family, particularly childhood and family trauma, does this exacerbate already existing addiction issues? And is that why the 27 Club exists? I don't know, but I am throwing it out there in terms of being an example. And then, yeah, I'll quickly go through all of the other houses just in case you were curious about themes that might come up. And so, yeah, the first house, anything about yourself, your identity, your appearance, how you present yourself in the world. The second house, how you earn your money, your values. The third house, your communication style, your local little neighborhood. Fourth house, who you fundamentally are, but also where you come from, your lineage, your family, the family that you're creating. Fifth house, experiences of self-expression, creativity, but also children. Children. Sixth house, health, daily routines, job site sort of things. Seventh house, how we might relate to other folks on a one-on-one basis. Like, yes, your romantic partner, but also like your work bestie, your boss, your best friends, that kind of thing. Eighth house, how you share resources with others. Ninth house, the wisdom that you are teaching and sharing with the world, or your connection to like real universal wisdom and metaphysical stuff, like astrology, 10th house, one's public reputation, their career. 11th house, one's friend groups, or just how you feel like you fit into society. And 12th house, experiences of spirituality. So yeah, those are the houses just in a nutshell. They say that some of the houses are a little bit more challenging in terms of the issues that they deal with, right? So then that means that those years devoted to those particular houses can be a little scary for folks as well. There is a lot of fear mongering around fourth, eighth, and 12th house years because those are the scary houses. I can say that I just finished, well, not just finished, I finished it in March of 2025, 6 months ago, my 12th house year, and not terrifying, particularly useful in terms of understanding the ways in which I was not showing up for and taking care of myself. I'm still working on it. But yeah, definitely illuminated some self-betrayal sorts of things. And now that I'm in my first house profection year, and I'm at the 6 month mark, I want to talk about what has been happening in terms of my identity and sense of self. So yes, this is a first house perfection year for me, a year that will likely have more to do with my sense of self and how I present that sense of self to the world. And 6 months in, here's how that is manifesting. One thing is that my first house is in Sagittarius. So Sagittarian energy can be about the energy of like mental expansiveness, like quite literally being open-minded. It can be the experience of travel or cultural exchange in some kind of way. It can be the experience of revisiting one's sense of personal beliefs and personal philosophies, maybe shifting some things around that. So those are themes that you might expect to come up for a Sagittarius rising ruled first house profection year. And I am definitely experiencing some of those things. Um, but more so, I will say that I also ran a solar return chart. So a solar return chart is a chart that you run on or near or around your birthday. It depends on the location that you find yourself on your birthday in that particular year. So it would not be based on your birth location, but where you are on your birthday in 2025 or whatever that year is. My solar return chart for the year has me as a Cancer rising, and that Sagittarius energy is showing up in my sixth house of health and daily routines. And I feel like that has been the primary theme of the first 6 months of my first house profection year. I am trying to become a person who has their daily routines together in a way that feels like getting free, staying free, and prioritizing myself. I am being a person, I'm becoming a person who prioritizes their health. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that as a working class person. Which holler at if you feel me. When you come from people who are working class, who stand on their feet all day, who do manual labor, there's no, oh, I want to go for a workout. The workout is work. When I get home, I want to rest. And that is what I was raised with, and that is how I live my life. So I don't have a physical exercise practice. I also experience a lot of, or have experienced a lot of medical racism. And so I tend not to follow up on the health conditions that I know that I need to follow up on because I don't want to deal with medical racism, sexism, medical misogyny, right? But this year, straight up, I think I got the notification to come in and get a pap smear like 2 weeks before my birthday. And yeah, I just went full throttle. I haven't had a pap smear in like 4 years, but yeah, I went in there, I did my pap smear, did the mammogram, oh, talked to the doctor about HRT and started herbal HRT, have gone through that journey, switched over to Western Meds HRT, and I'm on that journey and am constantly fighting for some sort of movement practice. I will also say that I've been challenged by the fact that in my natal chart, Jupiter sits in my sixth house, and I feel like I've been working a lot. And I mean the parts about Jupiter expanding things. I feel like I have been overworked, but I'm trying to get to a place of daily routines and systems that center myself and my capacity, especially as a disabled person, first and foremost, rather than productivity, labor, achievement, right? That is something that has been going around in my head a lot. So yeah, trying to get my health together, thinking about my relationship to work, and achievement, and trying to shift that into a relationship that is softer and talks about like care and creating access for myself in my own dang life. Like that part. That is the work that I am doing in my first house perfection year. So yeah, that has been what the first 6 months of my first house perfection year are like. Curious to see what the next 6 months will be like. If I'll actually get it together and become like a movement babe. I could be a person who had a daily movement practice of some sort. I could, if I tried. At any rate, have you finished your first house perfection year? How did it go? Report back. Were you able to change anything dramatically? And how did you do it? Give me your tips, tidbits. Yes, in the comments below. Alright, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting this channel and my Black queer autistic life. And as always, thank you so much for making time for queer astrology. Bye!